Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm enjoying my morning coffee as usual at Euston Mall. Not really sure what I'm going to do today. I woke up in a bit of pain all the way down my right side, which obviously will be from all the one arm stuff that I've been doing. I think I overdid it a little bit yesterday. I climbed for quite a long time and did some very physical moves repeatedly. It's kind of a bit of repetitive straight injury, but yeah, when I turn my head it kind of hurts and sends a bit of a sharp pain all the way down my neck, across my traps, yeah, and lower down my back as well. So not fantastic, but I'm hopeful that it's going to loosen up when I start climbing. That's the plan. Climbing heels all, so we're just going to jump into something. Yeah, try and stick to some more slab stuff, hopefully some routes that I've not shown you in here yet. And yeah, just see how it feels. But yeah, hopefully it won't stop me from climbing completely, but I might have to limit what I do and maybe mix it up a little bit in this session today. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to start off on this V1 purple on a slight slab wall, so trying to take as much strain obviously out my right arm now as well, because yeah, feeling a bit painful. But yeah, I'm going to jump on now, see how it feels. Hopefully it will loosen up as I go along, which I think it will do, and then I'll be able to go back into doing some, yeah, pretty standard stuff again. But yeah, I'm just going to see how it feels on this one and go from there. Yeah, it didn't feel too bad, the shoulder and the arm that is. But a lot of those holds is quite deceptive, they're not jugs at all. So throwing for them was actually quite challenging, particularly when I was catching them quite low. My arm was straighter, it's much easier to hold on to, but yeah, they weren't very in-cut at all, a lot of those holds, so that was quite challenging. Okay, I'm gonna move into this V1 now. It's a black, and this one might be a bit more tricky. I might end up using my left hand a little bit, just for balance. But yeah, I'm going to jump on and see how it goes. Hopefully I can use my feet enough, but I guess the tricky point is getting my feet up without using my left hand is going to be the difficulty. So yeah, I'll just see how this one feels. Yeah, not too bad in the end. I used my kind of shoulder and my elbow at the start just to bump off, but once I got that and got up, I could walk my feet up quite nicely. And yeah, the rest was actually okay in the end. Okay, I'm going to move on to this section of the wall now. This is a new set. Now, other than obviously the yellow from the comp before, but yeah, the purple and the black are new. I don't know if I'm going to try the black. I might do. It's a bit more challenging. It's a V3. I don't think I can do that with one hand. Just looking at it from the ground. But the V0, the purple one, I'll get that one done now. It should be nice and easy. It's a bit of a ladder, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, not too challenging that one. Okay, I'm just going to jump into this V1 slab now. It starts with a hand on this hold, under clinging. There's a foot at the bottom, foot here and here. And the other hand starts on the volume. So I think I might just start with the right hand on the volume. It
It's going to be very tricky with one hand, I do think. It's a leftward pulling hold to use here, and some feet under cling, small crimp up there, and then another small crimp before the top. So I think the end section of this might be a bit easier with one hand, particularly just my right hand. But yeah, the start's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, to get set and move across without coming off the wall. So I'm going to jump into it and see how it goes. Yeah, that was challenging, particularly at the start. I thought I'd be able to palm the volume and lean my weight in, but I kept falling off, so ended up going with the right hand and doing a cheeky little backwards with the left to actually match the start. And then yeah, managed to pull myself across with the right hand and keep balanced enough to get up to the top. But that was actually quite a fun challenge, I quite enjoyed that. Okay, I'm going to move on to this V2 orange now. And this I do think is going to be quite tricky. I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. The start will be fine, I think. It starts with two hands here. That shouldn't be a problem. And then I can bump to this one. But I think the tricky part is going to get my feet up when I've only got that left hand hold to use, which is going to be very difficult to do with my right hand. So yeah, that could be quite a tricky section where the end afterwards I think will be okay. But yeah, that move in the middle I think is going to be the crux for me with just my right hand. So see how we can go. Yeah, I don't think that one's going to be possible, unfortunately. Really do need that left hand to balance, because yeah, that right hand is just too low. I can't then step up my feet. So my body position would be far too awkward to step up with right hand on this and just feet on that. It's too, yeah, you know, my hands here, my feet are here. They're far too close to each other. My body position would be so bunched on the wall, I'll just come off. So yeah, definitely need that left hand hold, and going to that like this is just not going to be possible. So I have to move on to something different. I'm just going to try this white V4 that I've done before with two hands. Obviously the start was the trickiest before. I think it's going to be a lot more challenging with just the right hand, but coming up to this side will be more okay once I've got my feet up. So I think the start's going to be the crux, and yeah, see if I can actually hold the position on that and move across. But yeah, only way to find out is if we try it. Don't think I can do that with one hand. Okay, I'm going to move on now to what's quite an interesting looking V2. It's this red route, it's very straight, goes all the way up the wall here, and a lot of the holds are side pulls like these ones, so catching them in the right position is going to be a bit challenging. Start holds obviously both also underclings, so I think I'm going to start with my right hand on, that's the way I'm reading it, and what I'm also seeing is that I might actually just skip this hold and go straight into the higher one by standing up high on this foot to catch it at the best angle. That's the plan. From that I can hopefully walk my feet up and then reach one of the crimps on the volume, and then get my feet up from there, and then getting the top hold might be tricky to stop the swing because it's quite a side pulling hold, so, and it's pulling in the wrong direction for my right hand, so my body's going to be swinging this way quite heavily, so it might be a quick change of feet required and a flag, or maybe just an inside flag or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to have to be quite careful when I get that hold as for how I balance myself to match it. But yeah, I'm going to jump into this and see how it goes. Quite tricky, as I thought it would be. Yeah, certainly the last hold. Thankfully there was 2 feet in quite a good position, so this one I didn't have to move up my right foot. I could just flag with the left rather than having to change feet and flag as well. So yeah, challenging rig. I enjoyed that one as well. Okay, I'm going to move on now to what is a very dynamic V2. Starts with 2 hands on this hold, which thankfully is a nice big jug. And there's feet down here across the volume. That's a very dynamic first move from your hands there to what is a blocked jug up here. Then I can walk my feet through and use this foothold as well to bump the right a few times up into the last hold. So this could be quite tough. I think it's relatively challenging even with 2 hands, just to make sure you get the dynamic movement accurate. But yeah, generating the swing with just my right hand might be quite tricky on this one. So yeah, I'll jump into it and see how it goes. So the way I'm seeing this is going to be very technical. I'm going to have to start with left foot, right foot, and generate some swing, which can be very tough with just my right hand. But yeah, I think the difficulty is going to be that the way I see it, I'm going to have to change my feet on this. So it'll be right foot that I plant first. I have to plant that to the right side of the hold to leave enough room for the left to come in on the same hold again, and then go out with the right to this one before I catch. So there's a lot to think about. It's going to be very coordinated, and using one hand is going to make it more challenging, but thankfully obviously the hold that I'm going for is pulling in the right direction. I think it's likely once I get that, unless I can keep tension through my right foot, I might have to change feet again and flag out the right to stop myself from overswinging. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. That is tricky. Very tricky to generate any force with just my right hand and generate it in the right direction, because I can't use my left hand to alter the swing as well. So very much from this one range of motion. So yeah, I'm in 2 minds as for whether I actually swing into the wall or kind of physically just pull really hard, do a bit of a row through the right arm and generate straight across. But yeah, I'm also thinking I might be able to reach that hole before I change feet on this. I felt like I was quite close to it, but I was thinking about my feet rather than my hand. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick rest, maybe watch the footage back, and then yeah, come up with a plan to try that again. So just from watching the footage and also just taking a step back and looking at the distances, I think it might be easier just to pull like I did, just row with my right hand. Keep right foot on this when I catch that hold, and then once I've caught it, then step my feet through, which is still going to be very challenging, but I think it will help me stay closer to the wall, which is harder to do because I'm only pulling in with one arm. I'm not generating as much force into the wall. So I think it's going to be key that I catch that first, stay close, and then I can worry about my feet after that. So yeah, I'm going to give it another go for the row method, pull really hard in, and then keep right foot on this, and hopefully catch that hold before I then cross my feet through as well. And we'll see how it goes. Turned out that was the right thing to do, but that was tough at the end. Those holds aren't jugs at all, they're very slopey at the end, all 3 of them. So actually managing to hold onto those with my right hand on just this 1 foot hold was quite tricky. I think I did the right thing to change feet first and flag. Meant that when I caught it, I'd already stopped the swing. If I'd have kept my right foot on this before I went for the last, I'd have swung out a lot further. I'd have had to change feet in the dynamic movement. That'd have been a lot more difficult. So yeah, pretty cool route with one hand. That's pretty tough, but glad to get it sent. Okay, I'm going to end the video on that one. That was a really cool route. I really enjoyed that V2. Yeah, quite a cool route to end on. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. And yeah, figured out some different ways that you can move with your body on the wall. And yeah, I hope you got some kind of value out of it. Yeah, going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out loads. Really appreciate all your support. But most importantly, as always, as you know, make sure you grab life by the plums, and I'll see you in the next one.